Courtenay Heading joins us today, and I can't believe this is going to be the third year we've had a sit-down chat about this big event you have in the Isle of Man, the BioMed conference.
Yeah.
It's gone from strength to strength, I understand. You tell us more about it. What's planned?
Yeah, planned is similar to last year, but hopefully more international diverse participants. We've got a funding panel, got an ethics session, a biology session, and mainly a business session around how you can take these research ideas into the patient quicker.
For people who haven't followed this in the past, what benefit does this bring to the Isle of Man getting these people here?
Raises reputational brand, so we're doing trials here that haven't been done elsewhere in the world. One of them is on diabetes, so that's a home test that's being done through Ramsay Practice. So they've sent tests out to patients chosen at random to see if they have all the glucose intolerance. So they're looking at pre-diabetes, they're testing it at home in a lab on a stick, so the patient, it's convenient for them, but the practice now gets the results. So they've already interviewed 50 people, and of those 17 have been found to have some form of pre-diabetes. They weren't aware of it, so it's already getting that diagnosis into the home.
Is this the next e-gaming for the Isle of Man? I think I've asked you that in previous years.
It's different to e-gaming, but it's a lot of data, just like e-gaming. There's also an issue of regulation, so you've got to make sure the research governance and other protocols are in place. But yes, the data will be stored here, the trials can be done here, and that can be leveraged around the world.
It needs big draw cards, big speakers, and you always seem to bring those out.
Yeah, we've got some big speakers. We've got Jim Mellon again, we've got Lauren Johnson, who's a very successful entrepreneur in biotech. We've got the chairman of the conference, David Ungans. He's founded 3 biotech companies, and they're all on Ireland. So these are people that are internationally credible, but based here and have a love for the island. And
it's this way of getting things done quickly that appeals to these sort of guys. I mean, why the Isle of Man?
It is. I always say it's least bad. It's never as quick as yesterday, but it's quicker than most. People like Manchester University, when some of their spin-outs come here, they can meet entrepreneurs, they can get to legislators, they can discuss with government and look at, could we do a trial here on the island? Are there things where we can do it quicker? If they went down to London or tried to get to the British government, it would take longer. There's tens of millions of people there. It's quite different.
And when you say Jim Mellon there, I mean, he doesn't speak very often, I don't think these days, and you get him to do this each year. That's quite a draw, I'm guessing.
It was great. Last year, on the Friday, he came up to us at lunch and said, could I speak again if you'll have us? Which was rather polite. It's his hotel, but lovely. He said, yeah, there's new ideas he's got on immunotherapy. He's invested in that area, obviously written Cracking the Code. So he's a very credible international biotech investor. He sees what's coming before many people.
You've got a slight change of title. I think I see the Cabinet Office is where you're responsible now. Yeah. So is that sort of an elevation in your role in this?
It's different. I mean, I straddle and am supported by the Department of Economic Development, where I worked first of all, then morphed into a role that encompassed a lot of healthcare, and there's been change there. We've had 3 CEOs in the last 18 months, a lot of change, but now we're engaging more with them. How do we understand medical excellence, best of breed science, and then can we get that to the patient quicker? Not cutting corners, but just saying what are the bits we do. But we're on a small island, everyone knows each other. So looking at what we started to do with Ramsay Cottage Hospital, some of those areas I think can develop, and obviously discussions with Nobles and the health department.
And as you said, the Isle of Man is looking for new business. We keep hearing what more people to come here. Is this one of the things that is going to do it?
I think so. There's people looking to move here. We've got a trial that went through ethics on the 8th of July. That was a company called Goshawk Communications. It's trialling its technology with Manx Telecom. It's never been done before. Basically puts software into the cloud to enable hearing impaired people to hear better when they receive a phone call. The phone call signal is actually matched to their hearing loss or degree of hearing, and you do an over-the-cloud test, and then that is loaded into the network. So when someone rings your mobile, that audibility is matched in real time in milliseconds. Those sorts of trials can be done here and then taken around the world. So through ethics, working with Manx, data held here, and then we see how can that scale with the big developers.
So finally, with your crystal ball, when will this all really explode, or is it just a quiet burn all the time?
It's a quiet burn. If you look at the slowness of, say, a drug discovery, that can take 10 years, but we've just had Molplex here, Molplex Pharmaceuticals. They've been founded by a guy who has done this before. He's built up a biotech company, and from that, he now is looking at artificial intelligence to take out over 90% of the cost of having to go through finding the needle in a haystack. With artificial intelligence, that's linked to computers that can think quicker and analyse in real time. his algorithms can decide this is a compound you should look at, this is the likelihood of toxicity, this is how it gets into people quicker, and that, by nature of what he does, eliminates a lot of the animal trials. So again, socially a great win. Intellectually, it's something that we want. It's data hosted here, and it will build on the back of what we're going to announce at the conference, which is the progress on genome, the sequencing of the Manx cat. So looking at the genome, if anyone should look at the stumpies and rumpies, it should be us. And Rachel Glover, coming back to the island, she's a very smart analyst, looking at how we might do that. We've started crowdfunding it. It's on Indiegogo. Please go and give you £10. So you're looking at a Manx cat, and then we can look at perhaps humans, other aspects that make us uniquely us.
You never disappoint with your enthusiasm, Courtenay. I mean, you do see a bright future, obviously.
I do, and I think government does. I mean, I've been delighted that it's taken a while to explain it. I'm not always good at explaining the detail, but now we've got things like innovation proposition forms. These are forms I didn't usually like. I don't like forms, but they're very good at saying what is real, what is credible, who's moving here, how can we get investment. And we've already seen, just the cluster meeting yesterday, I had an investor there that I'd never met. He's investing one lot of $3 million, another lot of $7 million, both off Ireland, but that money's come to the Isle of Man from London, from wealthy individuals. He's now looking to deploy it into biomed companies. So if we can join up the regulatory piece, the clinical excellence, and the funding with a government that can act quickly and say this is an area we could look at for wound healing or for certain trials that are patient beneficial, but how can you do it quicker? So I am enthusiastic, and just as with the diabetes trial, that test, which RAMS is doing, that presented 2 years ago. So it takes a while, get to know them, build your relationships, and then have GPs that are very embracing it. So at their education session on 9th of December, they will hear the results of these trials. So joining up the learning and doing all that. So it's fun.